What's up everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be reviewing Fly Me to the Moon. The film follows 1960 space race between the United States and the Soviet Union. A relationship develops between the NASA director in charge of the Apollo 11 launch and the marketing specialist brought in to fix NASA's public image and stage a backup fake moon landing. It is directed by Berlinti and stars Scarlett Johansson and Tatum. I do want to start with my compliments first, and the first thing I gotta say is Scarlett Johansson is the best part of this film. Her performance and charisma really elevates this. Her character was the most interesting, and they gave us enough history about her to keep us intrigued. And they also did a great job at showing us how great she is at her job. There were a few situations where the characters were stuck and she had to step in and take over. It honestly made me miss seeing her on screen because I'm so used to seeing her as Black Widow, I forget she's a great actress. The film also did a great job at recreating the 60s. Granted, they used a lot of real life footage, a little bit too much, but it did match for what they was going for. Whenever the film does use its style, it's nice, but it doesn't do it often. And for a 2-hour film, it didn't drag, and most of the scenes felt like it was necessary to be there. That's unfortunately all the positives I have, because I found Fly Me to the Moon to be painfully average. Average in the sense to where the movie just comes and goes. Everything feels so standard and dry. If it wasn't for Scarlett Johansson, I would be bored out of my mind. Talking about the Apollo and making sure everything goes to plan can be interesting, but this film chose the most watered down way. For one, the movie tries to be two things at once. It wants to be a rom-com and an Apollo launch story. I personally didn't like the rom-com element. It felt unnecessary, and it really does bring the film down and make it feel very basic. Channing Tatum is giving this role his best effort, but he just isn't enough. We learn more about his character through other people than we do from him. He doesn't get to flex his character nowhere near as much as Scarlett Johansson does. Also, their chemistry is just okay. I never really bought their romance in this film. There's just so much material with the fictional Apollo story that they could have played around with more. Instead, they wanted to use the romance element to hook the audience into a specific genre instead of giving the story justice. All the Apollo talk feels so surface level and honestly not important. It more so wants you to think about advertising the mission than exploring it. None of the side characters worked either. The minor ones are just there for the background, but you do have two main ones, Ray Romano and Woody Harrelson. They both just go with the flow and ultimately feel wasted. There is some light tension with Woody Harrelson's character because he's trying to make sure everything goes according to plan, but they never build on that to establish the stakes. It makes everything feel stale and doesn't give me a reason to root for any of the characters. The most interesting thing about this movie is that it costs $100 million to make. This is basically just a Hallmark movie with a budget. This is not going to hurt nobody's career. Everybody involved will continue to work, but this is definitely a bump in the road. Fly Me to the Moon is wasted potential. It chooses the most boring way to tell its story, and it's a big budget film that has little to no impact. This is not the worst film of the year, but it certainly is the most forgettable. And that'd be all for this video. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments if you've seen this movie and how you feel about it. Or better yet, let me know some of your favorite space movies that you've seen. With that being said, I'll see you with the next one.